Let me close on the third A. The third A is adapt. After you acknowledge and analyze the difference, you need to adapt your communication style so that you can meet them where they are. And one effective way to do it is to strategically form good questions. And another way is to use a universal tool, aka storytelling, because storytelling resonates with people's hearts universally.
Yes.
And again, how to form good questions and how to craft effective stories are for the third podcast episode.
Well, there's no doubt that we will have you back on.
Yeah. Natsuyo, I love you have the acknowledge, the analyze, the adapt, and those are great skills, I think, for anyone, especially if you're looking cross-culturally in all the ways that you were talking about. Given that, what are some of the trends that you see on the horizon for women in global leadership positions? Because I especially agree with you with the Zoom rooms, it's becoming much more global in a beautiful, beautiful way. What do you see as some of the trends in the horizon for women in global leadership?
Yeah, I think they're using more and more storytelling technique to connect heart to heart, because across the screen, it's hard to feel connection, and it takes quite a skill, or usually even in person, you meet people multiple times to build trust or relationships. But on the screen, you may never meet that person in person. Yet you need to engage them, you need to connect them, and you need to build trust and relationship on the screen. So I think storytelling technique is getting more and more attention, not just necessarily from female leaders, from the leaders across the globe, universally, because that's one tool, really powerful tool to convey your message effectively while resonating with your audience. So storytelling technique.
Yeah, I love storytelling, and it's that no matter what you say, when it's wrapped up in a story, it seems to stay with you longer. And plus, you could find your own meanings in there without being told what it means.
Absolutely.
Keeping that in mind, how can women in general do a better job of lifting one another up? We see so much divisiveness these days, and so many opportunities exist for us to do better, to help each other more, and to just think about community. But if you're thinking in terms of women, especially women in business, how can we do a better job of lifting each other?
Yeah, I think as women, we are multitaskers. Well, I'm a mother of a nine-year-old, so I'm juggling so many things. I have two businesses. I have my dance career, and then I have my daughter who's a skater and model, and I have to handle her homework, and she goes to a Japanese school too. So it's really, really challenging every single day. So as a multitasker, women tend to contain everything within themselves and not reach out, because you're sort of expected to do all that. But I think just simply reaching out to someone helps tremendously, and it really unloads lots of weights on your shoulder. And I had a personal experience just last year during this COVID. I sort of fell into a minor depression at the beginning of the
I can't
pandemic.
imagine why. Why in the world would anyone be depressed this year?
Lord.
Yeah. And I couldn't really talk to my friends, and I lost my words and I lost my voice. And someone reached out to me and said, "Oh, do you need to talk?" And I said, "Yes." And I started I started talking to her about all kinds of, situations I was going through. And that really lifted my spirit. So I realized I do need to reach out. And if someone is having a hard time reaching out, and if you sense something, you reach out and ask if you can do something for them. So simply reaching out and reached out.
Natsuyo, I so appreciate you sharing that, because I have reached out to you for a few times, and you're always there on the other end of the text, and it is greatly appreciated. And so the fact that you shared this personal story, not only are we talking about storytelling, but I think it will help our listeners also understand that it's okay if you're really having a rough time, meaning there are people who love you that will be there for you. And we as women really need to reach out and try, and not only when we need help, but also keep in mind our friends and colleagues that we may not even know are hurting. So thanks for sharing that story. Listen, I just
absolutely.
quickly, if you don't mind, I know you're a dancer. This is my love, girl. Did you draw upon your experience as a dancer when you first started to speak professionally?
Yeah, absolutely. So I've been just like you, Rochelle. I'm a dancer, and I've been dancing throughout my life. At the age of 3, I started with classical ballet, and then contemporary dance, jazz dance, and now I'm a competitive ballroom Latin dancer. So performing in front of the audience has always been my comfortable space, right? And in competitive ballroom dancing, we're not dancing on a raised platform. We're dancing on the floor, the same level as the audience. Right. So dancers are so close to the audience, and you can really communicate and interact with the audience with your physical expression and emotional passion. So I think that really applies to speaking as well. It's about how you tell your story, verbally or non-verbally, or physically or non-physically, using everything you've got, and tell your story and bring them into your world. So that's the same similarities between speaking and dancing.
100%. And I think you're also trying to pass that on to your daughter as well. Is that correct?
Yes, I'm trying.
Well, that's amazing. And more amazingly, we have used up all our time. We are down to the last 60 seconds. So I would like to make sure that everyone knows how to reach you. So please give us the ways to reach you quickly through social media, or give your website.
Yes, I have Instagram and LinkedIn, and also I wanted to highlight my newest self-guided e-learning program called The Art of Persuasive Speaking in Global Business. And this is the only e-learning course you can find in the market that combines cross-cultural communication techniques and speech crafting techniques. And you can learn strategy consultants, logical thinking tools, and how to use these tools to make your message crystal clear and logically sound, even in the eyes of cultural differences. And you'll also learn how to create wow moments in your speech through the power of storytelling, so your audience will take action. So check out The Art of Persuasive Speaking in Global Business.
That is wonderful. We appreciate you so much for being here. You have so much more to offer. And as you have already said, we will have you back for round 2, round 3, and maybe round 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So
I'm ready for that.
Thank you so much for being here with us. Rochelle, take us out.
Wonderful. Thank you again, Natsuyo. We are Elevate.
Thank you.
You're welcome with Val DeFord and Rochelle Rice. Practical content that inspires, and we are committed to elevating the next generation of women in leadership. Until next time, thank you very much.